Yet, had you judged fairly, you wouldn't have blamed me at all. O you who censure me, O you who blame me in this love that is pure and chaste, I seek your pardon. Forgive me. Why? Because even if you are being sincere in your accusation of me, I can't help it. Right? And وَلَوْ أَنصَفْتَ, had you judged fairly, had you truly known the state I'm in, you wouldn't blame me at all. So let's look at what he's getting at here. Right? He says, rahimahullah ta'ala, يَلَائِمِ فِي الْهَوَى الْعُذْرِيِّ, O you who censure me in this chaste love and pure love. Right? Pure love is referred to in Arabic as Al-Hawa Al-Udhri, right? Which can be translated, as Shaykh Abdul Hakim translated, as chaste love, but it comes from the name of one of the Arab tribes from Yemen. They're Banu Udhra. Banu Udhra, a famous tribe at that time in Yemen. They would be so intense in their love, right, in their passionate love, in their ishq, that their love would lead them to death. They die out of love. And this is one of the things that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned about the people of Yemen, is that they have very soft hearts. They have very soft hearts. But Banu Udhra, their love would lead them to actual death. They would be so overwhelmed by love that they would lose it and die. But another possible meaning of Al-Hawa Al-Udhri is that it is from love in which the lover will accept any excuse from their beloved, from a udhr, right? That the lover is so true that they don't care what their beloved says. They'll excuse them and they'll accept any excuse from them. So that's another possible meaning. Oh, you blame me in my pure love or in my absolute love. And the Banu Udhra, of course, were very interesting, because though their love was this intense, and they were very honorable in their love. They would conceal their love. They would remain within the bounds of dignity in their love. So they wouldn't do crazy things lovers would apparently do. They wouldn't talk about their love. But their love was so overwhelming that you could tell that they're in love, and they could even die from it, from its intensity. And we'll take an incident in a moment about the nature of their love. And he says, ma'adhiratan, right? That, pardon me, right? Because I'm excused, because I cannot, the intensity of love is not within my ability to control. Because you can only be blamed for something that is within your ability. Right? And this love has taken me over. It's not my choice that I am crying tears that flow so much that they've been mixed with blood. As he opened the poem. And he says, if you were fair, you would not censure me. Right? Because you would know what I am experiencing. You'd understand what I'm facing. And what was he facing? Let's look at Banu Udra, right? This Yemeni tribe. Al-Asma'i, one of the great men of adab, one of the great figures in early Arabic literature, he says that, and there should be it's Al-Asma'i. Al-Asma'i mentions that Jamil ibn Abdul Rahman was in the court of Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, who was the Khalifa. And the Khalifa said, Ya Jamil, tell me something of the stories of Banu Udra, right, who were famous for their love. And different Arab tribes, some were famous for their bravery, others were famous for their archery, others were famous for their poetry. Banu Udra were famous as lovers, a tribe of lovers. But with this love that was restrained and dignified and true. And the Khulafa in those times were really enamored with literature and often were very learned. And Jamil said to him, O Amir al-Mu'mineen, know that the Arabs are the most sensitive of people in temperament, and the most beautiful of them, the most beautiful of people in their loyalty, and they guard their covenants and commitments intensely. Every tribe of the Arabs has traits that distinguish them and qualities that prevail amongst them. And Banu Udra are famous for their overflowing love and their passion. Right? He said, you'll see one of you'll see a tribe's member walking around in rough clothing, and you'd think that this is a coarse desert man. Yet, when he falls in love, you'll see them more subtle than water and moved more easily than the wind. Right? So this is the love that he's talking about. That you blame me for this love that's subtle like water, that moves like the wind. I can't control it. And this love that is out of control, right? You can't speak badly about someone regarding that, because they said, Al-Mahabbatu darbun min al-junun, that love is a type of madness. You can't do anything about it. And one of those who was criticized for love, he says, عيب الفتى فيما أتى باختياره ولا عيب فيما كان خلقا مركبا. That a person can be blamed for what they do of their own choice. There is no blame in that which becomes part of their nature and temperament. And it is said regarding this love that Majnun, and of course Majnun Layla was a historic figure from the 2nd century of Islam. He is a historic figure, and he was someone who had that Hawa al-Udri, who had that love that was pure and true. That love that was pure and true. So he was called Majnun, the mad one, from the intensity of his love. It's mentioned by one of the Salaf, one of the early Muslims, that I saw Majnun in my dreams. And after Majnun's death, he said, I saw Majnun in my dreams. And I said, فَقُلْتْ مَا فَعَلَ اللَّهُ بِكَ? What did Allah do with you? Right? You crazy lover. Right? فَقَالْ غَفَرَ لِي وَجَعَلَنِي حُجَّةً عَلَى الْمُحِبِّينَ. He said, Allah forgave me and made me a proof against lovers.